Okay.
Hi, my professor and my classmate. I'm really excited to be here in today to share our team project. Our presentation is called Employee Emotion, Motivation, and Retention at FPT Software. Analyzed from an organizational behavior perspective, this project is part of our organizational behavior course with Dr. Joe Hanley. My name is Hai Fan, and I'll begin by introducing the organization, the main problem, and the OB framework we use. Next slide, please. In this slide shows the structure of our presentation. First, I will introduce FPT software and explain the nature of the problem. Then, CERN will analyze the OB-based courses. Next, Chang will present OB course-based solutions. After that, Ngọc will discuss action recommendations, challenges, and unintended consequences. And finally, Zoom will explain communication strategies and how to overcome resistance to change. Next slide, please. The purpose of this presentation is to analyze a real organization using organizational behavior concepts. We focuses on employee motivation and retention because these are critical issues in the IT industry. We aim to understand why motivation decreases and how this affects employee behavior and how OB theories can have a purpose practical solution to improve engagement and retention. Next slide, please. FPT Software is one of the largest IT services and software companies in Vietnam. The company provides software development and digital transformation services to global clients, and most employees are software engineers working in project-based teams. They often face tight deadlines, complex tasks, and high performance expectations. Because the IT industry is highly competitive, factors such as motivation, strength, leadership, and teamwork play a key role in organizational success. Next slide, please. Based on our analysis, the main problem is maintaining long-term employee motivation and retention. At the beginning of projects, engineers are usually motivated and enthusiastic. However, over time, motivation can decrease when tasks become repetitive and deadlines maintain time. Although FD software offers competitive salary and benefits, this doesn't always ensure long-term engagement. And furthermore, the IT labor market is very competitive. So skilled engineers have many alternative job opportunities in the future. And this increases retention risk and can affect team stability and project quality. Next slide, please. In this issues is clearly an organizational behavior problem. Motivation and retention are not only about salary or technology, but also about how employees feel and experience their work. Factors such as leadership style, job design, recognition, strength, and feedback strongly influence employee attitudes and behaviors. When employees feel stressed or unrecognized, their motivation and commitment naturally decline. That is why an organizational behavior perspective is necessary, really important to understand this problem. Next slide, please. To analyze this problem, we will apply several key organizational behavior theories. First, Herzberg's two-factor theories explain why salary and job security alone are not enough to motivate employees. True motivation comes from recognition, meaningful work, and growth. Secondly, Maslow's hierarchy of needs show that knowledge workers value higher level needs such as achievement and self-development. And finally, OB concepts related to Job stress and burnout explain how long-term pressure can reduce engagement and increase turnover intention. These OB theories provide the foundation for our analysis, and next, Sun will explain the OB-based courses of this problem in more detail.
So now I will present the main organization behavior cause behind the issues observed at FPT software. Overall, these are four closely related causes. First, lower intrinsic motivation. There are many employees are gradually losing their internal drive, feeling less enthusiastic and less personal engaged with their work. Second, unmet esteem and self-actualization needs. Although basic needs like salary and job security are mostly satisfied, employees still seek recognition, growth, and a sense of achievement, which are not fully addressed. Third, perceived inequity. Some employees feel that effort and performance are not rewarded fairly, which weaken their trust in reward system. And finally, job stress and emotional exhaustion. Heavy workload along with long working hours and tight deadline create continuous pressure, leading to stress and burnout. To better understand these costs, I will now link them to key organizational behavior theories, starting with Herbage two-factor theory. Herbage two-factor theory have explained why intrinsic motivation is declining at FPT software. According to Herbage, there are two types of workplace factors: hygiene factors and motivators. Hygiene factors include salary, job security, and working condition. The factors are necessary to prevent dissatisfaction, but even when they are adequate, they do not create strong motivation. In contrast, motivators are intrinsic factors such as recognition, meaningful work, responsibilities, and opportunities for growing. These are what truly drive job satisfaction and enthusiasm. In addition, at FPT software, basic hygiene factor may not be acceptable, but the problem lies in the lack of motivators. Employees receive limited recognition, face unclear career growth, and often feel their work lacks meaning. As a result, they are not dissatisfied, but they are also not truly motivated. Over time, when employees experience hygiene factors without motivators, intrinsic motivation naturally decreases. Hebei theory clearly shows that improving pay alone is not enough to sustain motivation. This lack of motivation is also closely connected to unmet higher level needs, which can be explained by Maslow theory. Maslow hierarchy of needs provide another explanation for declining motivation at FPT software. Most employees have their basic needs met, such as salary and job safety. Once these needs are satisfied, they no longer act as strong motivators. Employees then focus on esteem and self-actualization needs. Esteem needs include feeling valued, respected, and recognized for one's contribution. Self-actualization needs involve personal growth, um, meaningful work, and opportunity. Um, an opportunity to reach one's full potential, especially important for knowledge workers. However, when recognition is limited and growth opportunities are unclear, these higher level needs remain unmet. Employee may feel that their work lacks purpose of that they are not developing professionally. As a result, even though pay and job securities are not major complaints, employees feel disengaged. According to Maslow, this gap at the top of needs hierarchy leads to reduced motivation and weaker commitment. Next slide, please. Beyond motivation and unmet needs, fairness also plays a critical role, which leads to expectancy theory. The expectancy theory explains how fairness and reward affect motivation. This theory suggests that employees are motivated when they believe effort leads to performance and performance leads to valuable and fair reward. At FPT Software, many employees do not see a clear connection between working harder and receiving better reward or promotion. Promotion criteria are often unclear, and extra effort does not always result in meaningful outcomes. In addition, there is a perception and unfair reward distribution when employees feel that rewards are based on favoritism rather than performance. Trust in the system declines. This effort reward disconnect, reduce motivation and commitment. Employees stop going beyond minimum requirements and gradually disengage. Over time, this lack of fairness also increase turnover in tension. Next slide, please. The final cost related to the daily work environment and the pressure employees face. The final OB-related cost is job stress and burnout, which can clearly be observed at FPT Software. The employees often face tight project deadlines, long working hours, and continuous performance pressure. While some pressure enhance performance in the short term, prolonged stretch leads to burnout. And to meet the project demand, employees may work late nights and weekends, leaving little time for recovery. And over time, this results in emotional exhaustion. Employees feel drained, less engaged, and less effective in their role. When burnout persists, employees begin to consider leaving the company to escape stress and restore work-life balance. And this increased turnover in tension and negatively affect both performance and retention. In summary, declining intrinsic motivation, unmet higher level needs, perceived unfairness, and job stress work together to weaken engagement and increase turnover at FPT Software. So now my partner will explain how OB concept can actually be applied to solve this problem.
So, in this previous part, we identified the several organizational behavior causes of low motivation and high turnover at FPT software, such as declining intrinsic motivation, high job stress, burnout, and repetitive work. In this section, I will explain how OB concepts can be applied to solve these problems by directly addressing the root cause. So first, when motivation decrease over time, simply increasing salary is not enough. OB theory so that long-term motivation come mainly from intrinsic factors. Second, high level of stress and burnout indicate problem in leadership style and workload management. Finally, repetitive tasks and unclear promotion criteria show weakness in job design and career development system. So therefore, our OB-based solution focus on three key areas like enhance, enhancing intrinsic motivation, improving leadership style, and redesigning job and career paths. Next slide, please. So the first one in enhancing intrinsic motivation among the employee, according to the Hosberg two-factor theory, salary and benefits are hidden factors. They can prevent the dissatisfaction, but they do not create a long-term motivation. Real motivation comes from factors such as the recognition, achievement, meaningful work, and personal growth. At FPT software, employees often work on the long and repetitive projects. Over time, they may feel that their contribution are not fully recognized. To address this, managers should provide the regular recognition not only through the financial rewards but also through the feedback, praise, and acknowledgement in team meetings. In addition, giving employee opportunity to contribute to a meaningful project and develop new technical skill and increase their sense of achievement. When employees feel that their work matters and help them grow, their intrinsic motivation and engagement will improve. The second solution focuses on improving the leadership style in a high-pressure, project-based environment like FPT software. Managers often focus heavily on deadline, targets, and performance metrics. However, OB research shows that the supportive leadership is essential for reducing stress and preventing the burnout. Supportive the leader provides regular feedback, coaching, and emotional support instead of only giving the instruction. So when employees feel that their leader care about their well-being, they are more likely to trust the management and stay committed to the organization. This also increases psychological safety, which allows the employee to speak up about the problem, workload, and stress without the fear. As a result, employee engagement increase and turnover intention decrease. Next slide, please. So the final solution involve improving job design and career development. Uh, so from an OB perspective, job design strongly influence motivation and satisfaction. To reduce the pattern and fragile job should include more skill, variety, and autonomy. So this means allowing employees to use the different skill and have more control over how they complete their tasks. At the same time, FPT software should provide clear and transparent career development paths. When employees clearly understand how their effort lead to performance and how performance lead to reward and promotion, their motivation becomes stronger. This also supports the expectancy theory because employees can see a clear link between effort, outcome, and career growth. Overall, better job design and career development system help employees stay motivated, reduce burnout, and encourage long-term retention at FPT software. So, in summary, By applying OB concepts such as the intrinsic motivation, supportive leadership, and effective job design, FPT software can address the root cause of motivation and retention problem. In the next part, our team member will present specific action recommendation as well as the challenging and possible unintended consequence of those solutions. So Ngọc will present the next part.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Chang, for sharing about how oh, so, apply OB concept to solve the problem. And in my part, I will focus on specific action and possible challenges and unintended consequences related to improving employee motivation and retention at FPT software. I will mainly highlight the key idea rather than going into full report detail. First, regarding specific action, our recommendation look at motivation and retention from three levels: individual, team, and organization. At the individual level, one important action is implementing mentorship and coaching program, pairing junior engineer with more experienced colleagues, and have employee feel supported, especially in a project-based environment like FPT software. Mentorship is not only about technical guidance, but also about emotional support and career direction. When employees feel that someone cares about their growth, they are more likely to stay engaged and commit. We also suggest using individual development plan or IDP. This helps employees clearly see how their current work connect to long-term career goal. For many knowledge worker, motivation does not come only from salary, but from a sense of progress and personal development. ITP can help reduce uncertainty and increase intrinsic motivation. At the team level, a manager play a very important role. One key action is organizing regular team feedback or reflection session. This session also employees to openly discuss workload, stress, and project challenges. Open, open communication help futures and reduce frustration, especially during high pressure period. Workload management is another critical issue. During big project phase, management should actively monitor workload and, when possible, redistribute tasks or adjust expectation. This can help prevent burnout and support long-term motivation. At the organizational level, we emphasize the importance of clear and transparent career path. Employees are more motivated when they understand how effort and performance lead to real career opportunity. We also suggest aligning performance evaluation more closely with development, not just short-term research, non-monetary recognition, such as acknowledgement or of effort and contribution can also strengthen employee engagement. However, moving to the challenges and obstacles, management manager who are used to focus mainly on deadline and delivery may find it difficult to shift toward more people-oriented leadership. Employees may also be skeptical if they feel that new initiatives will not be applied consistently or will disappear over time. Another challenges involve resource constraint. Training program, mentoring, and leadership development require time and budget. In a fast-paced IT environment, short-term project pressure may limit the organization's ability to fully invest in these initiatives. cultural and structural factor can also create obstacle. In more hierarchical organization, employee may have hesitate to speak openly or give feedback, which would reduce the effectiveness of communication and development program. And finally, uh, we focus on unintended consequences, which may occur even if the actions are well designed. For example, motivation initiative may raise employee expectation about promotion or reward. If these expectations are not met, dissatisfaction may increase, and there is also a risk of perceived unfairness if development or mentoring opportunity are not equally accessible. Additionally, managers themselves may experience overload since coaching and feedback add to their existing responsibility. Overall, my section show that while OP-based action can improve motivation and retention, they need to implement it carefully with attention to both challenges and unintended outcome. This board also colleague with the leadership and job design issue discussed in at the back of our report. And in the next part, you will share some information about space about my report, our
Okay.
report.
Okay, so I will continue the presentation with the importance of communication. So, when organizations talk about improving motivations and retention, communication is often underestimated, but in reality, it is one of the most critical success factors. At FPT Software, the employees work in a fast-paced, project-based environment with tight deadlines and high performance pressure. In such context, any change related to HR policies, career development, or motivation programs can easily create confusions or even anxieties if it is not communicated clearly. Effective communications help employees understand not only that is changing, but more importantly, why the change is happening. When the management explains the business context, such as increasing global competitions, the shortage of skilled IT talent, or rising turnover risk, employees are more likely to see change as a necessary step rather than a threat. Clear and consistent communication also help align employee expectations with the organizational goal, which directly support long-term motivations and retentions. Next slide, please. Well, from an organizational behavior perspective, resistance to change is completely normal. At FPT Software, the resistance may come from concerns about heavier workloads, uncertainty about evaluation criteria, or fear that new system may increase pressure rather than reduce it. Employees may also be skeptical if they have experienced fast initiatives that did not deliver promised benefit. Well, to address this resistance, management must proactively communicate the purpose and benefits of change instead of announcing decisions suddenly. Leaders should explain how these changes will support employee development, reduce burnout, or improve fairness and reward and promotion system. While sharing concrete example and realistic timelines can also increase credibility. Another effective approach is to use pilot program. By implementing change on a small scale first, employees can observe real results before full implementation. This reduces uncertainty and allows management to gather feedback and make adjustments, which help build trust and acceptable. Next slide, please. The communication should not be one directional. Two-way communication is especially important in knowledge-intensive organizations like FD Software, where employees possess valuable expertise and insights. Providing channels such as team meeting, feedback surveys, and open discuss allows the employee to express their concern and contribute ideas for improvement. Leaders play a crucial role in this process. Managers should actively listen rather than only focusing on task instructions and deadlines. When employees feel that their voices are heard, they are more likely to feel respected and psychologically safe. This sense of psychological safety encourages engagement, creativity, and commitment to the organization. Supportive leadership communications, such as regular check-ins, constructive feedbacks, and empathy toward the employee challenge, can significantly reduce stress and strengthen emotional attachment to the organization, which is essential for retention. Next slide, please. Well, to conclude, employee motivations and retention at FPT Shopware represent important organizational behavior challenges that cannot be solved by financial incentive alone. OB theories have it understand how employee perceptions, attitudes, and threat level influence their behavior and intention to stay. While OB-based solutions and action plans are necessary, their effectiveness depends heavily on how well they are communicated and implemented. Clear, transparent, and two-way communications, combined with supportive leadership, enable employees to understand change, reduce the resistance, and build trust. Ultimately, strong communications and leadership are key drivers of sustainable motivations and long-term employee retentions at FPT Software. So thank you for listening our team's presentation.